there, and welcome back to Weird Soda for Life. You ready to talk about D's? D soda? Ah? Ah? You get it. Anyway, welcome back. Uh, Today we continue on our long journey through Immune June with another probiotic soda, Dr. D's Sparkling Probiotic Drink. Um, Not a whole lot more to say about probiotic sodas in general. We've kind of covered the main ground. Um, but as I was doing some research, I came across an interesting sort of weird vibe on Dr. D's website. Um, Throughout the website, Dr. D was telling, I'm referring to him as Dr. D, I don't know his real name. Apparently, his wife's name is Susan. Uh, Learn more on the website. Um, but on the website, he kept saying that his drink was a water kefir, not a kombucha. And the vibe that was coming off the website was like, is this some sort of dark fermentation war that I've stumbled across? I certainly hope not. I don't have time for this. I'm trying to hold down a job. Uh, but so I did some Googling, like, what's the difference? Because I have had kombucha, not a fan. I found the one I had was very vinegary. That doesn't mean all kombucha is that way. It just means the one I had was not a good experience. Um, but I never had a water kefir before. So I did some investigating. So the differences between the two is that a water kefir is sugar water with kefir grains that are left to ferment, and then the fermentation process, of course, creates the probiotic. Just so you know, by the way, fermentation in general creates those bacteria. So like you don't have to like go out of your way to like get some fermented stuff. You can get that from sauerkraut or kimchi, things like that. Like it's naturally created. Kombucha, on the other hand, is usually traditionally made with green or black tea with a uh, culture bacteria slipped in. It's called the mother, um, and it's a thin, slimy pancake in the bottom of the drink that jumpstarts that whole process. Look, I'm not judging you if you like kombucha, and maybe I just didn't have the right one. But for me, I do enough mental gymnastics in my own mind that if I knowingly know that there's a gross, moldy, fermenty thing in the bottom of my drink that has caused this whole mess that I'm drinking, I really find it hard to work my way past it in my brain. That's genuinely me, but that is not a critique if you like kombucha. It's not for me. Um, but I mean, I drink other things, fermented things like beer and cider and liquor. Anyway, so that's the difference between the two. I still didn't find out like what this weird vibe was about, but the kefir is part of Dr. D's origin story. Apparently, he was making it for his own like digestive issues, and then his kids kept stealing it. Which bad job, kids! Like your dad needs this to not be sick. But apparently, he and his wife were like, "Oh, we're running a health store, and the kids love this so much. Maybe we should do something about it." And bim bam boom, Dr. D's. Um, it's a pretty boring origin story, which is why I didn't spend a lot of time on it. With that, let's take a look at the can. I don't know really what it is about the probiotic and prebiotic sodas, but like all of them so far have had like soft, rounded fonts. I don't know if it's to be soothing or to lull you into a false sense of security for the fermentation wars, uh, but all of them have been like weirdly round, and again I think I said welcoming last week. Welcoming. uh but anyway, you see Dr. D's probiotic drink, the sparkling the sparkling probiotic drink, delicious gut support, which is better than what was that one, gutsy from last week, spicy. But The sparkling drink with benefits. I'm not into you that way, Dr. D, and how dare you do this on my channel. On the side, it says gluten free, dairy free, caffeine free, non GMO, live cultures, vegan, USDA, or organic. Um, and on the back, it says DD's Live Culture, which includes fair trade cane sugar, kefir cultures, pink Himalayan salt, tart cherry, and lemon juice from concentrate, all organic. Um, But other than that, it's just kind of boring. It's here to low and false sense of security, except for where was it? Must be refrigerated. Uh, and there was something on here about if you didn't, maybe that was just on the sign. But long story short, don't shake it. Um, so Dr. D's has 9 different flavors. I only spotted this flavor at my store, and it's tart cherry. I like cherry, so not a big deal. But they have pineapple, Concord grape, crisp apple, ginger brew, tangerine, lime mint, hibiscus cooler, and berry lavender. So if any of those flavors sound good to you, try it out, and maybe I'll pursue it after this. But with that, let's see what we've gotten ourselves into. Ooh, that is an aggressive fizz. The last couple ones have not been like so fizzy, but this one like fizzing from the get go. All right, and this time I remember to bring a glass because I thought this color is going to be different. So, oh, and look at that! Look at that pretty color. And you can see again, very fizzy, which makes sense. We'll let this get where it's going, then we'll take a sniff. But truly, the color of this while we wait is beautiful and like strongly red. I'm a huge fan of this color. This is what I think of when I think of cherry. Oh God, not again. Okay. Okay. Uh, it smells a little bit like cherry. It smells again, like sour cherry. That's what it smells like. It smells like sour cherry with a side note of burning my nostrils, my nose hairs. Okay, but again, we had that last week too with the culture pop. So maybe that's a probiotic thing because we didn't have that issue with the prebiotic soda, and maybe it's just the strength of the fermentation. With that, uh, well, again, maybe I'm realizing because I normally drink sodas, I have to recalibrate the level in which I'm judging these sodas on. Because usually when I drink a soda, I'm expecting something very, very sweet. To get the first part out of the way, tart cherry is tart. It is very tart. I like that, um, but some people may not. It is aggressively tart. It is creating more saliva in my mouth. uh, but usually when we drink sodas on the channel, we're expecting a sweetness, and maybe that's just my own bad for expecting that. Um, but it's weird to say that the prebiotic soda we had at the beginning of the month was probably the sweetest of the three, and that was the one that tasted the most heavily of apple cider vinegar. Uh, so um, it's very tart. You can taste the cherry, but it's also weirdly bland. It's not sweet. It's just tart water. And that's not bad. I kind of had that same experience last week with the culture pop, where it was bland, but it wasn't bad. And just like last week, I would drink this again. Um, there's nothing to write home about. I think if you like sparkling water, you'll like this. But uh, just for me, just like the origin story, not a lot to write home about. Just tart. Next week, Mr. Weird came through in the clutch for me, and went to Target and found Ollipops. So we're gonna get those in on this channel next week. Um, he bought 2 flavors, an orange flavor and their Dr. Pepper version, Dr. Goodwin. I think I'm gonna try the Dr. Goodwin. Did I learn my lesson from the uh, weird classic Coke? I did not. I did not learn my lesson. So we're gonna see what the Dr. Pepper version of Olipop tastes like. Until next week, drink weird and you know, eat some fermented food and get your own probiotics. Don't drink it from a can if you don't have to. See you next time.